Okay, now that you've looked at each of the individual tutorials on the intermediate course, we're going to take a moment to go through all of those particular details and put them into action and build a live scene and scene collection for your stream. I'm going to be making everything from scratch, so I'm not using pre-downloaded overlays. I'm not using bought overlay packs. I'm going to be creating everything from within OBS Studio. That way, you will be able to just make everything from inside this application and not source everything from outside. I'm going to do it relatively fast, but I'm going to do it a little bit slower than I usually would. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and we're going to go through this step by step and build a intermediate style live stream. So let's get going, shall we? First of all, what I want to do is I want to choose what I want my viewers to be watching. I'm on my live scene right here. I've got 4 scenes: starting, live, be right back, and ending. We're going to start on the live scene. It's probably the most important. I want to choose what to show my viewers, so I'm going to add a window capture. I'm going to call this Steam Capture because for the sake of this tutorial, I don't want to have a game open on my PC because I'm recording, I've got loads of software open, it might crash my PC. So I'm going to instead choose Steam to window capture. Under the window setting, I'm going to choose Steam. You can see all my windows that I have open are here, but I'm going to choose Steam. Capture method, I'm going to choose Windows 10. Because I have a Windows 10 PC or higher. And then Windows Match, I'm going to leave these all alone. Now you can see my Steam window. If I open Steam and I put it on a separate window, you can see my mouse is there, my cursor, all the things are being captured. It is being captured well. Now what I want to do is add my webcam to overlay. Obviously, the webcam I'm using to create this tutorial is my main webcam. I'm going to add my secondary webcam, which is not as good, but it does the job. I have a C270, a Logitech C270. So I'm going to add that as a video capture device. So in my sources, I'm going to go to plus, video capture device. I'm going to call it webcam. And I'm going to select the Logitech webcam C270 from this menu. It's going to capture it. Hello, there I am, looking pasty and very, very white. Click OK, and there it is. I'm going to drag it to the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to put it in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, you see on the right-hand side of the webcam, there's a little bit of my green screen that's cut off. There's a couple of ways that we can fix this. One is to hold the Alt key, that's ALT, or Command on a Mac, and drag this red box on the side inwards. That will automatically crop your video capture device. So I'm going to hold Alt and crop that in. I can also do it on the other side, on the top and on the bottom as well. But we're just going to do it on the right-hand side to get rid of that messy screen. And I'm going to drag this into the bottom right-hand corner so that it just sits out of the way of my window capture. Now what I want to do is add a chroma key to that video capture device. At the moment, you've just got that big green screen in the background. Very overbearing, and it's using up a lot of the screen. So I want to add a chroma key to make it transparent. I can either click on the webcam in the preview area, or I can click on the webcam in the sources and right-click and go filters. And we need to go down here on effect filters, click plus, and find chroma key. Where is chroma key? Why can't I find chroma key? My eyes are giving me, there we go, chroma key right at the top there. My eyes just switched off for a little bit there. And it's going to do its best with the default settings. You're going to need to play around with the smoothness and the similarity a little bit. The more you turn the similarity up, the more colors will go transparent. There I go, disappearing. And the more you turn it down, the less colors it will pick up to make transparent. So we want it somewhere in the middle. I'm going to put the smoothness down a little bit. And I'm going to put the similarity up. And that's about as good as I'm going to get with this particular camera. The better your video capture device, the higher the resolution it captures in, the better it will be at keying out chroma key. So if you have a pretty average webcam like the C270 I'm using for this example, the chroma key will not be so good. But if you look at the tutorial webcam in the bottom right hand corner of the video right now, the chroma key is a lot better. So try and get the best webcam you can for the best results. I'm going to turn down the spill reduction and press close. Now you can see, if I make it a little bit smaller, it's still a little bit big. Now you can see I'm completely transparent in the preview area. And you can see everything behind me. If I go a little bit higher, you can see the Fall Guys title behind me, which is exactly what we want. But now the video capture device looks a little bit pasty and, let's be honest, just a little bit rubbish. So we want to add some color correction to that webcam to make me look just a little bit more socially acceptable. So we're going to right click on the webcam again, go to filters, go to effect filters. You can do this in the top part. Oh, no, that's only audio. I don't know why it says video in nowadays. They've updated it so no video filters don't go there anymore. But we want to go down to effect filters, press plus, and press color correction. And I want to make this just a little bit more, a little bit darker, a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to turn up the contrast a little bit. I'm going to turn down the gamma a little bit. And I'm going to add a color multiply. Now, what this is going to do is add a very basic filter over the top of the image. And I want to make it just a little bit more pale, a little bit reddy. Let's go for that. And there we go. It looks a little bit warmer, the entire color palette. If I put it up to red, you'll see, there you go. It makes everything extremely red. But what I want to do is just add a little bit of tan, like so. And that looks a little bit better, I think. Maybe a little bit more contrast. A bit less brightness. No. We'll keep the brightness the same, I think. We'll keep the brightness at 0. And maybe a little bit more saturation for some more color as well. There we go. Obviously, with the poorer webcam, it's going to give us slightly less good results, but it's okay. We'll leave it like that. You can also, of course, like we said in one of the tutorials, you can work on color grading and you can lift colors out and such, or you can apply an LUT. So to get a consistent color correction over all of your images, let's get rid of the color correction just by clicking that eye hide tool. We're going to apply an LUT. So we're back to the original color scheme of the video capture device. We're going to click Browse. I want to make myself, let's go webcam presets. What have we got here? 1, 2, or 3. Let's try number 1. Oh, that's not very nice. Let's try number 2. These are horrible. Why are these the webcam presets? Let's try a posterize. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It's cool, but, you know, not great for accurate webcamming. Contrast filters. Let's go medium high. None of these LUTs are doing it for me. They might do it for you, but I'm going to remove that filter by pressing the minus button. And I'm going to turn my color correction back on because that's more like what I want it to look like. Okay, chroma key's on. Color correction is on. Let's go back. That is a very basic, or actually not so basic. We've been through quite a few settings there. That's quite a good setup for a gaming live screen. Or even if you're doing like software tutorials, this is perfect. I want to add a few more things. You see at the bottom here, my Steam doesn't quite reach the bottom of the screen. I could stretch that to make it fit. It will change the resolution of the image a little bit, but I could stretch it. If I transform and then go fit to screen, it will make it fit. Well, that's not what I wanted, actually. That will make it fit, but it won't stretch it. My bad. That was my mistake. We're going to go Steam Capture. We're going to right-click, transform, and stretch to screen. I pressed the wrong one. Fit to screen will just make sure that everything fits inside your preview area, but stretch to screen will stretch it to the preview area. Did you see that? So it's made it a little bit taller. The height has been increased, and it's changed the resolution slightly. I don't really want that, so I'm going to leave it where it was originally, and we're going to use this black space at the bottom here to add an informational ticker. So some text that's going to scroll across the screen. First of all, I don't like that it's black. So we're going to go plus, we're going to go gradient. I'm going to add a gradient source. I want to make it still pretty dark, just not like super black. So we're going to go towards the end of the spectrum here, and we're going to choose the second one as like a slightly lighter gray. And I kind of want the gradient something like this. That looks okay. So we're messing around with the gradient. I'm going to take that gradient. You see it's put it to the top of my sources list. I'm going to take it and drag it all the way to the bottom. And now we have a slightly gradiented banner at the bottom here. Now I want to add some ticker text. So I'm going to go plus in sources. I'm going to go text. And I'm going to call this let's call it Media Equipped News. Okay. Breaking news. I'm going to change the text. OBS tutorials help new users conquer the world. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Now remember from the tutorials, we need to, if we're using this as a ticker, we need to leave some spaces at the end so that it breaks up the sentence from the rest of the ticker. I'm going to change the font to something fun that I would never usually use. Let's go to 28. Let's find something fun. What are we going to find here? Let's go for, it needs to be readable though. Fun and readable. I tell you what, when I'm picking fonts for my streams or anything like creation-wise, I could spend hours in these menus and never find anything that I want to use. Oh, that looks kind of fun. Where was that one? Hold on. Handle Gothic BT. Let's go for that. That does look kind of nice, actually. Note to self, use Handle Gothic BT regular more often. That does look nice. Okay, we're going to press OK. We're going to drag this down to the bottom here. But what we want to do is resize it so that it fits in that gradient area. And we need the end of this bar. You see the red square here? We basically need this red square at the end of this source to reach all the way to the end of the preview area. So I'm going to double click on Media Equip News and I'm going to drag it to the side and I'm going to add more spaces at the end of this text. And we're going to watch that go all the way to the end of the preview area like so. That looks pretty good to me, doesn't it to you? I'm going to press OK. We're going to right-click on the text to now add the scroll, filters, plus, scroll, OK, and then add horizontal speed. And we want it to loop, otherwise it's just, you know, it's not gonna come back. We're gonna see it once and then that's it, but the news keeps looping, right? So we're gonna have it loop, we're gonna click close, and there we have it. There is your ticker. Looks a little bit weird that it's going over my webcam. So I'm going to put it below the webcam source to make sure that it only appears, there we go, it only appears behind me and then it comes out afterwards. Looking fantastic, I have to say. And you can use that, you know, for your stream news. You can use it for your, I don't know, whatever you want to use it for. You could use it to talk, to make announcements for your viewers. You could also use it to put stream labels in, and we'll be talking about Streamlabs a little later in the advanced section of the course. Okay, what other kind of things do we want up on screen when we are streaming? We might want the chat box from your stream so that people can see their chat on screen. The way that we're going to do this, we're going to use Streamlabs to access the chat box. So we're going to go to your internet browser and we're going to log in. Continue with YouTube. Let's log into all of these. And once you are logged in, you're going to go to all widgets on the side here. You're going to go to chat box. You're going to click copy here. Now you can change this is where you can change the display of your chat box right here, but we're going to leave it as is. You can come back here a little later on to change the looks and display of your chat box. Click copy up here where it says click to show widget URL. Right next to that, click copy. We're going to go to OBS Studio. We're going to go to sources and add browser, chat box. Okay. And change the URL to the URL you just copied. And now, when that appears, when there is chat in your stream, it will appear inside this red square here. You're going to want to make it a little bit thinner, because otherwise it's going to cover the entire of your screen. Let's press, I changed the width to 400 there. And you can see it's a little bit thinner on the left-hand side there. Obviously, if you're playing a game where there's lots of information on the left-hand side, you're going to want to put this on the right or vice versa. I'm going to pop it right here. And there, our chat box is ready for some chat on screen. What about an alert box? An alert box is where when somebody donates or subscribes or anything like that, it's going to pop up on screen. We're going to do the same. We're going to pick it from Streamlabs. So we'll go back to the Streamlabs dashboard. We'll go to alert box on the top left-hand corner here. And we will copy the code here. Again, this is the page where you come and you change all of your alert box settings. If you want to recap how to change alert box settings, go and check out our tutorial in the intermediate section on alert boxes. I'm just going to copy the entire alert box here. Again, just like we did with the chat, I'm copying. I'm going over to OBS Studio, adding a browser source. I'm going to call it alert box. Okay, and I'm going to change the URL. And I'm going to put that in the middle so that when somebody, I'm going to right-click transform and center to screen, so that when somebody donates or subscribes or something like that, it's going to pop up in the center of my screen. To test this, I can go to my Streamlabs dashboard and I can test subscriber. And there we have it. We have the alert on screen ready to go. Couple of other things we're going to want to add here. We're going to want to check our scene transitions. So here's our starting screen, kind of boring. Here's our live screen, right? It's not going to show Steam right now because Steam is not open. Let's open up Steam and then you can see it. There we go. I want to change the transition. If I want to change the transitions, all I have to do is go to transitions down here on the bottom right-hand corner and change this to whatever I want. We have fade. So it fades between the two. We have swipe, and it's going to swipe between the two. And we have slide, which is basically the same. I explain all of those in our transition tutorials. But what about stinger transitions? If you have a transparent stinger transition, you're going to want to add it in this same menu. So you go to stinger. I do have a stinger. Then you click the cog on the right-hand side here. You go properties. And then you find your stinger file, which you've either downloaded from the internet or you've had created for you. I'm going to go browse, and somewhere in my files, I have some stingers. Let's go to my Fiverr work, and I have a stinger that I made for a friend here. And transition point is usually 1200. That's where the transition changes from one scene to another. And I'm going to click OK. And now, when I switch scenes, it uses my stinger instead of any of the fade, cut, swipe, slide transitions. Now, as always, with the starting soon screen, we could have our text on screen. Let's go plus text. Okay, starting soon. And I'm going to add some spaces to the end of that. Make it a little bit smaller. You can change the font and the design in that menu just by double-clicking on the source if you want to. I'm going to right-click filters, plus, scroll, okay, horizontal, scroll. And I might want to drag this down to the bottom here. And whilst the stream is starting, I might want to have the chat up on screen. What I can do is go to our live scene, copy the chat box by clicking on it in the sources, right-clicking, and then copy, going to start, right-clicking on the preview area, and clicking paste. Where is paste? There it is, paste reference. And I'm going to have our chat pop up on the side here, just to make the starting soon screen a little bit more lively. And then in live, I'm going to go to alert box. I'm going to copy that as well and paste that over, so that we have the alert box here as well. So that if I test my alerts, it will pop up on screen and show on the starting soon screen. Of course, we can give this a background. We can give it an image background or a gradient background. Let's do another gradient. I'm going to go, lime green, that looks horrible. Let's go like dark purple or dark blue to like to a green. That looks kind of minging as well, but we'll go with it. That's fine. I'm going to drag that down below. And we have everything on our starting soon screen, be right back screen, and ending screen. There's a couple of other things you might want to add. On your starting soon screen, you might want to use that timer application that we downloaded to tell people how long there is until the stream starts. So I'm going to go to my Windows. I'm going to search timer. Here is the stream timer that we downloaded, streamtimer.exe. I'm going to run that application. And I'm going to, what are we going to set this to? We're going to set it to 5 minutes until the stream starts. Where is our, I just need to remember where the file went for this. Where did we put our file, guys? We're going to add that to 5. We're going to put start. I'm going to press play, I'm going to press plus even. I'm going to go to text GDI. Okay. And we're going to go read from file. Browse. Now, where is the timer? Where did we put the timer application? Can anybody remember where we put the timer application? Stream timer, there we go. And timer document. Double click on that, and we have our timer on screen right now. That's at 7 minutes and 13 seconds right now. I'm not sure why. Let's restart that. We'll put it on 5 minutes, click start, and then it should read the file for 5 minutes. Excelente. We had a couple of seconds on there as well, and suddenly you've got a stream countdown, a stream scroll across, and you've also got your alert box and your chat box on that scene as well. Now, we want the same for Be Right Back and ending, but what we don't want to do is design it all again. So I'm actually going to remove Be Right Back. I'm going to remove ending, and I'm going to duplicate the starting scene. So I can right click on the scene and duplicate. And we're going to call this BRB. I'm going to right click on BRB now and duplicate, and we're going to call this ending. And all you have to do in these scenes, if you want to change the text, is delete the text source and add a new one with a scrolling effect for Be Right Back and ending. And there you have it. You have a perfectly capable stream scene collection designed from entirely inside OBS Studio. Your live scene's looking sleek. You've got that green screen, that chroma key set up so that everybody can see you and get that separation between you and the window capture behind you. Obviously, this works for gaming. It works for IRL. It works for application tutorials. Anything that you want this to work for, it will. Join us in the advanced settings of the course, the advanced courses, to find out more about how to correctly design all of this, add in plugins as well for additional features, and set your streams apart from all of the other competition.